Hey everyone, welcome to the WayScript channel. In this one, we have a brief demonstration on how we can use an SQL database to fuel a Slack bot. What we'll be creating is a way that we can query a database using Slack and then return customer information back to that channel. Let's see how we can do that. Starting out, I'm already logged into WayScript and I can click on Create a New Script to create a new application, which we'll use as a customer SQL bot. Our first step is we need to be able to read in whenever a user makes a message on a Slack channel. To read these messages into WayScript, we'll need to authorize Slack, and then we can add a Slack trigger. So we'll type in Slack and then create that Slack trigger as the top of our tree. Now we can choose our workspace. I'm in a few different ones, so I'll select the workspace that I'll be using in this tutorial, and then we'll say the mode will be run this program so everything below this trigger step will execute whenever a message is posted to a channel, and then we can choose the channel. Now, if we want to pull in that text, we need to select the output of Slack message text. There's also other outputs that we could use here if they were interesting to you. Now that we have this, let's go ahead and turn it on for just a second. We'll go over to my Slack channel, and then we'll put in some type of text. So we'll just say some text. Now when we go back to WayScript, we see that we have that some text stored as a variable that we can use later on in our tree. So let's use it to query an SQL database and return information about a customer. To do that, we need to pull in the SQL module. Here we can add a database, or we can select one that we've already added. I'll be using this one for this tutorial. Then we can click on Edit Code and type in custom SQL code right into the browser. Let's say that we wanted to create this bot where it takes in a number and then queries the database by the ID. We can do that by saying select all from the table. So my table in this case is example users, where the ID field is equal to the Slack message text. This is pretty cool because this means that we can have dynamic SQL. So whenever a user types in a number, we'll query the database depending on that ID value. Now, right now, our string text is some text, and that isn't going to query an ID field too well. So let's go and put in a number. Now, when we go back to WayScript, we see that our Slack message text changed to 3, and our SQL query updated as well. Let's say that we just wanted to return this one column. So we'll just say column 3, and then we'll say info to return. Now all we need to do is to write that back to Slack. We can do that by using another Slack module, and then what we'll do is just drag this info to return up to the message. Pretty simple, right? And we've already built a customer Slack bot that you definitely can make more complex. However, this will do the job for what we're asking it to do. So now when we put in a number, a different number than what we did before, we should get back that column, which we do. We see that we got it back twice, but that's just because I have 2 applications running on this one channel. And that's it for this one. WayScript makes these sort of applications very quick to do, so we can set these up in just a few minutes and have a very powerful application. If you have any questions or comments about this one, please let us know and we'll help you out. Until next time.